have come full circle. Here they are now at the live finals. Obviously unexpected as well. We were anticipating, wind and rain, endpoint to be here at the live finals, but obviously didn't make it in the end.
Yeah, that's very true. But it seems like we are ready. So let's get underway with this one. Epsilon versus Xenex. Let's roll into it. So here we are, Snods diving straight into the action on Inferno. Trials seems to already find himself a tasty little opener on TSAC, because a bit of damage is already done.
You're not wrong there, Jack. Already 4 frags across the board here. 3 versus 3. As apparently Whisk has an AWP in his inventory.
I reckon that is the classic ESL UI bug.
I would expect that as well.
I reckon what you need to do there is refresh the HUD and that'll fix that.
Potentially, but anyway, we're going to roll with that, as the AWP has been thrown out the window, but 1 minute 5 seconds left from the clock here. Both they're going to be annihilated by Trials, but a fast reply there from Smooya.
Yeah, Smooya doing a bit of damage, takes down Trials, and they get left into a 2 versus 2 now. Site control going to be taken from Whisk, because he will try and get the bomb down, but Smooya, he's hot on their toes. He does try and push up behind. He's got support of Surreal as well. It's this double damage dealing squad on the CT side, looking for the retake. They don't have a kit, so they need to be a bit snappy about things. Try and do it sharpish. Surreal actually takes a small dink as well. Tags down to 72 HP. Shiki. Beast from the northeast just waits to lay waste to anyone that dares to come towards his cave as he just hides in his own domain towards Pit. Whisk on the site looking for action as well. Finds a nice crisp headshot, looks for a bit more as Smooya dives into action. Doesn't know the location of Shiki, and you can hear the excitement as the King Kong himself starts to beat his chest.
Exactly. Beast from the northeast. Jonathan Shiki leading the charge there. Hear them screaming his way in the distance as it goes 1-0. Xenex there going for the second mid push. Obviously, we didn't quite see it on the stream, but I imagine Epsilon went for the peak towards second mid. Got caught in the crossfire, 3 versus 3. And a great fiery entry as well from Trials. They're running out of apartments in mid-air almost. They felt like connecting the USP headshot and open up the site in favor of Xenex. No defuse kits in the last run as well from Epsilon, as they were forced to pull the trigger. 5 versus 5 now as we go into round number 2. Obviously, the 1-0 start here for Team Xenex. Smooya going to be saving for that AWP. Just going to be investing into Kevlar. Oh, sorry. Bar that. Just a Deagle and no Kevlar. Is above $1,100, so we can get the AWP. Apart from that, Jack, 4 CZs and 4 smokes as well. So what Epsilon can do with this is use the smokes of the choke points towards Banana, towards top mid, towards apartments as well, and delay the clock here. Try and force Xenex to jump through those smokes with 30 seconds left, 25 seconds left, up close versus the CZs, and basically trying to annihilate them.
Smooya's got a Deagle in his hand, waiting for the push to come towards him to try and lay waste to some fools if they do dare to push past. But as of right now, they keep it fairly restricted. Quite calm on the side of Xenex, obviously just waiting to see if that eco push is going to come towards them. They can pick up some early frags, deal some damage to the SMGs. But Smooya does get contact, actually goes down as Trials will strike against him with a MAC-10. Shakes his moneymaker a little bit here, Snods.
He does. First frag found, and actually that was the sole defendant to this A-bomb site. Boaster towards Arch. Going to be catching one player off guard. That's Jonathan Shiki. But a fast flick there towards the dome of Boaster. Sends this into a 5 versus 3. Could argue here as well for Epsilon just to save what they have. Save the Kevlar, CZs, the smokes as well. Especially now as Lumji finds another one onto Surreal as it is the 5 versus 2. Bomb ticking away. No diffuse key here as well for the CT side.
Yeah, this is a good start for Xenex actually. Being able to pick these rounds. Actually getting the bomb plant down as well. So they're getting that additional 800 to put their economy into a good state. Actually might get through with a flawless round here as well as another kill comes through. And it's just TSAC that remains. And TSAC, he's backtracking away, hitting the back pedal, trying to get himself into more of a defensive angle to actually stay alive with the CZ. Might find a frag here as well. Taps down, kills Trials, looks for a little bit more. It seems like that is going to be the end of this one. Actually gets the second kill as well, takes down Whisk and denies the AK. So that's quite big.
Was indeed actually Xenex there. At least claiming the round victory, obviously 3 players surviving as well. So this should be the eco now coming up from Epsilon. They have the salvaged AK onto TSAC. Finding 2 frags, you can now invest into Kevlar to back it up as well. So could go for a fast peek towards Banana, flash in towards second mid, maybe from Boaster. Peek in, try find that first frag. Maybe they can salvage the weapon and try and snowball it from there. Early Banana control coming out from Lumji and Trials. Going to be interesting to see as well how they do set themselves up. This is Xenex on their T side. Who's going to be the mid play? Who's going to be towards apartments? And of course, Banana. That's already TSAC finds the first frag into this round. Minute 30 left. We now have Smooya as one of the backlines that could cause havoc.
Yeah, smooth up. If he's given a golden opportunity to actually strike from the rear, here's how he likes it. So let's see if he can go for it as he tries to get the first tag down. Does eliminate Trials. Deviates back ever so slightly as he will lie and wait for the push to come towards him. Whisk does kill him, but he's only on 8 HP. So you're now left into a 3 versus 4. T-Sac's got the AK. He's the only one with armor. Boaster has a flash. You can actually try to pop flash him in if they get a read on this. But Boaster's the only one at A site. If they try and push in, Shaney is going to be critical in this.
50 seconds left here. Boaster hiding in towards the A bomb site. We know that Whisk is low as well, so if they can find this kill onto Whisk, turn into the 4 versus 2, there's a definite chance here if Epsilon can play the trades and refrag their teammates. Shiki going towards top banana, going to be clearing to make sure there's no flank coming in from behind. Actually didn't use the smoke there, Jack. Didn't try and sell a fake instead, comes back, clears it out, and now the assault towards A can begin.
The thing is, no one's cleared Grave. They've just left Grave open this entire time. They're going to be going straight for the bomb plant. Luckily, Shaney does get a read in it, but it's a little bit too late. They take down Boaster. That's the flashbang out of commission, but you've still got T-Sac, Robin, and Surreal left to try and make this work. They can use themselves as a little bit of a suicide squad here as they go for the push back in. T-Sac with the AK is going to be the one with the actual lethal capability into the round. Whisk from distance with a MAT 10, just hammering down, trying to keep him at bay. This backstab could be huge as well. If Shiki can actually get in the rear and take them down before they realize it could be massive, but he needs to save the round. Shiki gets one, and it comes down to 1 versus 1 against Surreal now. Time is essentially up. There is no kit. He's going to either have to commit to it or try and find the frag as the push comes round. Shiki does it. That's the free upgrade back to the AK as well. And all 3 rounds found for Xenex, with a bomb plant on each one.
It's true. Close rounds though, Jack. Obviously, down to the 1 versus 1. Xenex will claim their 3rd round as we enter the first buy round. But in terms of cash, obviously, Jonathan Shiki now $6,000. But apart from that, I mean, $3,000 for Lumji, fair enough. But Shaney, Whisk, Trials, all under $500. And they're going to be struggling if Epsilon claim the first buy round, and they may. Orb for Smooya. T-Sac going to be investing into the defuse kit. Uncharacteristic missed shot there from Smooya as well. So he will go for the reface, but the HE grenades connecting so much splash damage, and they will warded him back. As Surreal stays towards sandbags, but all 5 members from Team Xenex here situated towards Banana. No presence shown towards A. As Smooya rotates now through CT back in towards Library, coming to the A side. Now then. Top Banana control in favor of Xenex. They could have left a player there if they wanted to. Instead, going to be grouping up as a 5 now towards A.
Yeah, just getting ready to go for this execute. Smooya with the AWP. He is going to be a bit of a roadblock, though. If they can't overcome him, he will definitely be able to do a ton of damage here. Tries to come down on him, but actually can't manage it. Misses the initial shot. It's forced to fall back, and it all turns out it's been a ruse. They've been lampooned. Xenex are going to be.
Yeah. They've heard Smooya rattle off the AWP shot towards the A side. They think, you know what, we want none of that. We're just going to rush towards B. 50 seconds left as the flashes, the smokes, everything deployed in towards the B sites. All down to Surreal now towards the back boxes. Find 3! Nearly the 4th as well. The silenced them 4. There's only 20 bullets on that gun.
That was just Surreal, Snods. How did he manage this? All of a sudden, it's just left with 2 men standing. Lumji, below half-life as well, as he's just on 26 HP, barely trying to cling on to this round. Outnumbered and outgunned on the retake. Shiki, down and out. They've lost their brain box behind the team, so Shaney, he'll step up the 2nd in command. The old man of the scene that can definitely deal damage starts to return to form. Shaney always steps up on land. It's where he thrives at his best, so let's see if he can go huge into the round as the bomb is going to begin to be defused. Needs to land that shot, couldn't quite adjust it. It's going to be the full 10-second defuse as well to actually pull this one out as the push comes in towards him. Smooya takes the fight, shuts down Shaney, and Epsilon get that round, but they barely clawed it back there. I mean, the brink of defeat instantly as you push into the site. Surreal's just owned you with that. I mean, that's a huge spray down from Surreal.
Yeah, 20 bullet M4, 3 frags with it, plus as well sending Lumji down to 40 HP, basically 3.5 frags at that point. And this is the thing, it really goes to show the individual caliber of players that Epsilon have on this roster, right? Robin, Smooya, Surreal, all players that can have individual rounds such as that where they just turn the tides and put it back in Epsilon's favor. Xenex, even if they just had 2 players die, then as a 3 versus 4, they still win that round, you could argue, if you had an extra player there to back up Shaney. But it is going to be the buy coming out here from both these teams as they rush towards apartments.
Yeah, just going to go for the push outs. The Trials finds the first kill. Does take down T-Sap. Smooth on the site, actually gets bodied. Trials looking pretty effective there. This is nice to see.
Indeed, yeah. 4 versus 2. Bomb will go down now towards default. As the retake begins, the question is, though, will it end momentarily now for Epsilon? Is it worth going for this one after having your money reset? I mean, take a look at the cash right now from the CT side here. $1,200 for Boaster, $1,600 for Surreal. So, you know, once the round loss bonus comes in, he's going to have $3,000 for Surreal. He won't have the important $3,100 to drop over another M4. So the buy is going to be extremely poor here from Epsilon. Surreal here can try and play for an exit frag, and if he does, that means he can drop over the M4. But even then, I mean, Robin could drop over a UMP as well to T-Sac. So, I hear things being typed in the chat, so that could even be a pause coming out from Epsilon. You could even argue that. How on earth do they redistribute their funds now that they have been reset?
Yeah, their money's in a horrible position. I mean, what, 1.5K? Basically, they're just going to try and reinvest that around, see what they can actually switch up. And it's not fantastic. We've got 2 UMPs, 1 CZ on T-Sac. Actually, is going to be dropped over the Famous at the very least. And you've got an M4 and an AK. It's a bit of a mixed bag, Snods, but more importantly, look at that utility. 2 smokes. What you can do with those? They're already gone.
Yeah, 1 smoke left onto Robin. Robin is playing towards Banana. The boost going to come through. Surreal with 2 frags. Again, he's just able to annihilate all of Xenex here. And from the brink of defeat, economical defeat as well, Jack. If Xenex win this, they break the money and shatter the CT side economy going forward here for Epsilon. But look at the aggression coming out towards all facets of the map. Smooth, maybe getting a little bit too aggressive there, but Boaster coming in from behind. T-Sac as well towards the top of middle. At Arch, spots out 1. Only 40 seconds into the round, Jack, of 4 versus 2.
Oh, it's just down to 1 man, though. On Whisk, the young gun, he's not able to come through this time, so it's a bit of a flip-flop, obviously. You reset Epsilon there on the immediate round. Epsilon actually go for the reinvestment, they bring it back, and once again, it seems down to Surreal for the early frags. I mean, towards that B site, quite a few complexities to his playstyle, keeping on their toes.
Yeah, a great dealer of death as well.
Yeah.
But round number 7 here, 4-2. As the Causey buy comes through now for Xenex, going to be avoiding the full money reset. Flash comes in towards second mid. Boaster maybe going to be peeking with that one. As he peers in towards the T apartment, spots 1. Shaney does fall, and they're going to try and rush and get that refrag.
Well, it looks like he's going to start to raise his boasties. He's got 1 boasty currently. Let's see if he can try and get a couple more. We'll reposition round. Whisk could actually cut him off, but Boaster does it. Finds the crouch peak.
If he wins this could be a new Boaster emote.
Exactly. That's what he's looking for.
Boaster EPS.
He's looking for those highlight clips. Push comes towards him. Bit of a struggle there on the actual frags, but there's a fair bit of damage. 3 kills picked up with the UMP. So it's a nice bit of cash going to be wired over to his bank account, just leaving Shiki and Trials remaining into this round. Now, the fact is they went for the light investment into the CZs, etc. So they kind of needed to make something out of this. Go for more of a split push together, use the utility you invested into, use that pop flash, just do something shock and awe. Right now, very, very stagnant as they just split up as well. Shiki going to try and find something towards second mid, but is killed as he goes down to the unhappy face.
Huh.
That's quite sad.
That was extremely sad. Wow. Trials now last alive here. Found his way into the B-bomb, so obviously Robin pushing in towards T-spawn. Gives up the bomb plant. And if he wins this, Jack, this is one to remember.
Trials. See if he can get it going for himself. CZ in hand. First contact seems like it will be coming around from Smooya, but Smooya just runs straight in off the back of the flashbang. They actually don't know he's here. No one's going to clear runes out of anyone on this side. They just leave runes completely open, sprint in towards the bomb site, now finally pushing through. Trials, unfortunate there, gets checked, located by Smooya, does take him down. There's no chance to try and possibly find an exit frag or scavenger weapon at the least, but they do get the bomb plant down. Better than nothing, all things considered, into that one.
3-4 then. Round number 8 here, and Xenex going to be going for another buy into this one. Effective round so far, but this has been a high-octane style of CS we've seen into this first map of the Premiership semi-finals. Obviously, speaking of aggression, Robin Boaster towards B site, even towards apartments as well. Keep applying the pressure. And there you have it. Shaney, the first frag onto Robin. Goes for the defense. Actually wins it as well onto Smooya. Even knew he was hot at that angle, but still wins it. And actually, Shaney was one of these players we're expecting to see big things from.
Honestly, on land, Shaney with the AWP is one of the players that you can actually expect to really start to pull things out of the bag that we've not seen for quite some time from him. This is where he's at his home turf, Snots. He lives it. He loves for the land.
Yeah, you see him in FPLC and I-Series. And there you have it. T-Sac trying to push in as well. In towards second mid. Lunchy's still holding for that one. Obviously, Lunchy playing that more passive, supportive role. Even though notoriously on Cobblestone. And to some degree, Cash as well. Jonathan Shiki, famous for his 4-1 style of CS. But bomb planted. Save now coming from Epsilon. As Boaster with the AWP. Surreal as well. Maybe not going to be expecting the push coming in from behind from Lunchy, but he does. But still loses the duel. Boaster now caught in transition between these two positions. That's the nice dink there. The USP can get away scot-free with the ADVP. Drop that over to Smooth into the next round. So he is going for the peak again. Misses that shot. And Trials capitalizes off of it as it goes 5-3. And Xenex off the back of the pistol, still keeping it going with the advantage here, Jack. 2 rounds in their favor.
Yeah, pretty good stuff to see, obviously. Nice momentum. Good calls from Shiki thus far, getting us into a good position. You got 9 rounds now as we move on through. Xenex picking up 5, Epsilon with 3. They do have the cash for the rebuy though, so Smee back on the AWP instantly.
Yeah, can't be understated of the impact that Shaney's AWP had in that last round. In towards mid, in towards Banana. Everyone playing so scared towards those T-stairs. Both Trials and Whisk, obviously first DPS for them. Maybe it's done a show already, but round number 9. Double play towards apartments here from Epsilon, leaving Boaster alone towards quad. Smooth T-Sac with the double angle there towards apartments. Heavy presence towards top Banana here from Xenex once again as well. We haven't seen this too often. We saw on one of the, I think it was the first buy round where they actually went on losing that one. And they walked into their demise towards the A side. But Shaney again with the entry onto Robin at the B site. As now they're going to just pounce on this Bravo bomb site. Shaney again with the AWP, finding entries left, right, and center. Double entry for a second round in a row.
Yeah, nice move there as they do take control of the bomb site. This might be the save call as well. Both the T-Sac and Smee, no real point in trying to go for this one. That is then going to bring it up to a 3-6 scoreline in favor of Xenex. It's good as well. Shaney actually getting these entries with the AWP. This is what we need to see. Shaney is kind of the life force of this team with those early AWP picks, especially on Inferno. That T-side AWP, it's a risk. But if you get frags with the first couple of seconds into the round, first 30 seconds, be able to open up a bomb site from it, then you can get momentum. It's the knock-on effect.
Yeah. And at what point do Epsilon not only pause, but get a bit paranoid, maybe? As they are trying to save, all in towards apartments here as the push comes in from Xenex, the flick headshot from Whisk. We know he plays in that high sensitivity, and it's for those exact situations. 6-3 now, Epsilon. If they had saved that extra player as well onto T-Sac, most likely could have gone for the save, but things are going to get awkward here soon. Shaney may not have the most kills here on the Xenex roster as of now, but in terms of impact frags, 4 of these frags have been entries onto the sites, granting them these round victories and also granting them rounds versus weaker firearms. If you're the solo carry in a buy round, you then draw out ecos to the next one. Doing God's work essentially on land here. If they are going to be going for the eco round, they save them for onto Boaster and the AWP from Smooth. Smooth's AWP soloing towards B, expecting Shaney to go for that pick again.
1:20 on the clock though. Now grouping up just outside of Banana. Molotovs goes over, so this will give Smooth a little bit of an inkling of what exactly is going down. It's going to smoke it. Goes for the little peek on the slight gap that is there as well. Meanwhile, for the AWP of Shaney, he's just setting up. He's not going to overface. He's not going to go for the extension just yet. He's there with a wolf pack of Trials and Whisk as well. So they're just lying in wait for this to kick off. So we get down just below the minute mark.
Lunchy alone towards middle here. As they need to work out exactly where this AWP is from Smooth, and the M4 from Boaster is located as well. Boaster once again in towards Graveyard. Doesn't want to give away the fact here's the M4 here on the A side. As grenades are thrown towards the B side. Xenex now running back towards A, but what they don't know, Jack, is they're walking into the stack.
Yeah, right into the unknown as they get attacked from all angles. Boaster needs to go huge, but cutting down Boaster now puts him into a winnable position. The only man on the site is T-Sac. He's just got a USP, but in close range, he'll be able to snipe down Shaney anyway. Goes for the no-scope, can't quite connect it, but up close and personal against Whisk. He comes out on top. Now then, Trials in a 1v1 versus Smooth. He's got just enough of a grace period to plant the bomb and decide how to play this one before Smooth gets there. Smooth has no utility, just the AWP and his individual skill, and want to win this round as he finds him. Tags him down to 10 HP, barely holds on, but he will find the frag as he flicks up. Gets the defuse, saves the round on its last legs. As Epsilon now get 4 rounds in their buffer.
Defuse comes through. Close round there, Smooth down to 10 HP. 4 to 6, and Xenex going to be frustrated with that one, losing versus 3 USP unarmored opponents as well. T-Sac doing crazy damage there versus Xenex, putting into the winnable position. 1 frag with the USP, picks up the AWP, lands the quickscope onto Whisk. Still, 2-round deficit here for Epsilon as they will go for the buy off the back of the 1 versus 1 victory from Smooya. Big reset potential now for both these teams. I mean, Whisk down to 1,300, Lumgy 750, Shaney the same money as well. Epsilon, if they lose this one, they get economically reset. And Xenex could run away with the half there. We could be seeing an 8-4 scoreline very easily from Xenex if they win this one. And if Xenex win their T-half here in Inferno, do they have the skill to hold on to these sites and defend their positions versus the firepower on Epsilon? And that's the question we're expecting to see next half, as this game already is delivering more than anticipating. Boaster thinning the smoke just a little bit, but no one's going to really notice just yet.
Well, here comes the push round. Boaster finds the first frag, but there is an instantaneous trade there from Lumgy that will lay down the law. Looks for more as he tries to roam through, but Robin, it's a little bit of damage. Trades back on Trials. It's into a 3 versus 3 as the site control is being held by 2 men. The crossfire of T-Sac and his brother in arms as he just peeks out, fighting through it, wanting to go wild in the round. Robin will do the last blow there against Shaney. And I'm now 1 round away from equalising it, bringing it back into a 6-6.
Strange there from Xenex. Obviously, Lumgy, Whisk going in first. But a big lag between them and the remaining 3 players from Xenex. There was no trade onto Lumgy towards the default site. Instead, Xenex playing rather passive and almost scared. And if there is that lag between players, then it's going to be very easy to capitalize off of that. But Whisk with the first round to Smooya. Robin there with the easy 2K versus the CZ. Armored players. Bomb spotted towards Banana as well as the rotations come through, but once again, easy frags being picked up.
His trades though. Shiki actually grabs himself the AWP. See if King Kong can find anything with this as he will try and rotate back around. Grabs the bomb. Defending towards Banana. He is going to be pushed by Boaster as well. Boaster realizes maybe it's not worth just running straight down mid. Falls back, plays from a more defensive angle. Just going to be able to hold, wait for the push to come towards him. It's a bit of an off angle as well. Tashiki shouldn't really clear it. Yeah, just got spammed in the back. Could also be a double AWP setup now for that CT side as he will save it.
Could be very effective as well. I mean, AWP onto Surreal potential towards the B side. Smooya AWPing towards A. And that should make things extremely awkward for Shaney. I mean, obviously, peering into angles where it's AWP from both Surreal and Smooya means what options does he really have to find entries? Obviously, before he was fragging onto Robin towards CT, towards middle as well versus Smooya's AWP, but Shaney this time finds the first frag onto the AWP. I didn't think he'd be able to do it. Surreal peeking into the scope of Shaney as we see a 5 versus 4 once again. Shaney doing so much damage here. Lumgy as well finds the frag into second mid. As we see a 4 versus 2.
Boaster, I think down to 13 HP as well, incredibly low. Barely gets away with his life. This is a nice round so far from Xenex. If they can keep this up, get themselves to 7th, really put in some groundwork over on that T side, set themselves up, make their lives a little bit easier on their CT half. Robin, though, to be backing off with both of the weapons. Wants to save the AWP into the next round, as he will just set himself up and look to try and find these frags.
Wow. It's going to go into round number 14 then, 7 to 6. AWP save from Robin. But we might see Epsilon actually save here into round number 14, then buy into round number 15. Or if they do force buy behind the AWP, and potential for Xenex to, if they win the next round, then another poor force buy in the last one from Epsilon. This could be a 9-6 half here from Xenex, and that's a 9-6 half including losing versus the Eco as well. So, things are looking on the up here for the underdogs. Xenex, with so much motivation to prove Enclave wrong, for dropping them. Obviously, it may have been worth it just for that bar tab. But round number 14. It will be the quality buy coming out from Epsilon. They are just going to go for the CZs. Obviously, they saved up for Smooya, but apart from that, they are saving for the last round.
Yeah. Well, Shaney, he's been able to find the first pick quite a few times in a row now, Snods with the AWP. He's been very effective with it. We know just how deadly he can be, but let's see. This time around, the CT's playing it a lot more lax. They're not going to overextend. They're not going to push out, put themselves at a risk to actually be sniped down. Straight ripped through by Shaney. But here comes that wolf pack. It's actually going to be an all-out battle here towards the top of the banana, it seems, as it'll be a 3 versus 3. Shiki also going to join the party. They've got a huge collection of utility. Their pockets are absolutely lined, and they're going to be ready to just run rampant with this. But let's see. The Xenex killer bees are about to be on the swarm. Can this defense from Epsilon actually hold up? Have they got any angel dust to keep them fighting through here towards banana? Or the AWP of Shaney be too much to power? As he tries to scope round, obviously the smoke's going to keep him blocked for the meantime. Actually, a close angle being taken here from Robin. As he's going to try and play around the smoke, peeks out, but Shaney with a nice little flick. That's Robin dead. Now it's just down to the last 2 remaining members as they swarm through. Boaster in the elevated angle, they need to clear it. Whisk isn't going to be alert. Boaster, 2 free frags, not punished at all. Somehow he's been able to get away with that.
Once again, no refragging coming out from Xenex. And now 30 seconds left as they charge towards the scope of Smooya. Shaney in towards middle. Smooya missing the shot, actually. This guy's quite awkward now. HE grenade goes in, but Shiki can just jump out of apartments and try and get that frag. But fast rotations from Surreal and T-Sec are there to back up Smooya. As he whiffs an easy shot, Shaney runs up through middle, but last round here of the first half, and Boaster boosted towards the CT position, finds 2 frags in a situation he shouldn't.
You got
no smoke towards CT as well. Xenex are panicked.
That's what I mean. Like, everything's set up for you. There's no smoke down. You've walked straight out.
First kill.
Just clear the angle. Obviously, yeah, you're focusing towards the guy on site, but there's 3 of you walking out. Not all of you need to just focus at the same position on site. It's so common.
Yeah, or just smoke it, but first frag this time going to be going in favor of Epsilon. It's been a while since then. Smooya, T-Sac with the double play towards apartments. Will be finding themselves in a 5 versus 3. Shiki from behind can be caught off guard by Boaster. As now we see Whisk, Shaney into the clutch. 2 versus 4. Boaster going to be falling back momentarily. Flashbang comes in towards Archway. The reface comes in. Going to be winning that duel. And that's all down to Shaney with the AWP towards apartments. T-Sac should be very easily able to deal with him. So he'll be running back here. And a minute left on the clock. You can try and play for some KD, but apart from that, Jack, it seems likely we do witness an 8 to 7 half as the knives are trying to come in.
Well, it depends here, because this round isn't over. You've still got 50 seconds. He has the bomb. They're now playing quite frivolous. They're just running at him. I mean, if Shaney can carry on and land a couple of shots, maybe there would have been potential. But he does get shut down, so it's an 8 to 7. And I think that was a lot closer than we overall expected. And one of the reasons where you can tell how quickly Epsilon kind of realized we actually need to put some effort in is normally, you'll imagine with a team with Smooya that's going to be constant screaming every round. We heard that first couple of rounds in. That quickly got snubbed out. All of a sudden, it was a close affair. And you can see they're not looking happy.
It's true. The Smooya screech. It is quite high-pitched.
Yeah, it sounds like someone throttling something. It's interesting.
Well, 8 to 7. When they were down 6 to 3, they still managed to bring it back into an advantageous position at the first half. As Xenex, a few times I said it, there were 2 scenarios where they could have finished with a 9-6 half. When they were 6 to 3 up, if they had reset Epsilon there, they would have gone 7-3, then versus the Force Spy, 8-3, then an Eco, 9-3 up. That could have been a 10-5 half there for Xenex.
Yeah.
Conversely, obviously, the second time was when it was that 6-6 position, and again, they could have reset the money for Epsilon. These were 1 versus 1s, these were close rounds. But the individual skill from Epsilon shined through time and time again. As we have missed the first kill for a second time running, but I believe that was Shaney's first frag.
That's actually what I was going to allude to as well, is the fact that Shaney looked dominant. Eastside Large, though, comes through. crisp as ever. What a cheeky little animal. As he swipes them down, all of a sudden it's just Boaster and T-Sac that remain. T-Sac's basically as good as dead. Now he's finally put in his place as well, as Shiki will beat down on him. Hits him with a body slam. Boaster fires back through with a Glock in close range, but still, it's a 1 versus 3. How's he going to vlog his way out of this one?
It's very true. 1 versus 3 here. Gets the dink as well into trials. Smoke in towards the site. Going to go for the bomb on here. Maybe the knife coming out, but eventually Shaney going to be connecting the headshot through the box for a third, fourth time. Actually, what is it? 4 times now, I believe. First frag found by Shaney, but cannot understate Lumgy's 2K there this CZ. Whipping it round towards the middle again for the second. Just fadeaway shot as he went back into Boiler. 8-8. And both pistols now 1 for Xenex.
Honestly as well, right? You look at that Team Xenex roster, you got to think, Lumgy, Shaney, Shiki, they're kind of like the secondary tripod of the UK scene, right? You had Imi, Max, and SEO. The secondary tripod that was, it was kind of like the budget version that had a little bit of gaffer tape on it. That was this 3. They always kind of got to this finals, but they never really finally had their oomph. It always seemed to be Shaney a step up or Lumgy a step up. Right now, they're both coming through. Shiki seems like he's on the ball with the calls. It's looking pretty good, considering they've not had much practice.
I know.
The Fortnite's been paying off for Shiki, apparently.
It's true. Building rosters and building ramps is what Shiki's known for. But feels like we should be seeing an Aussie and a Dream on there as well. How many times we've seen those rosters?
Dead now, of course.
Dead now, of course.
They're feeling vexed.
Hey. Well, minutes left on the clock here. Passive play from Epsilon. The bomb didn't go down, so they have gone for the force buy. Boaster. Not investing to anything. Maybe actually saving for the op here for Smuya. Obviously, as he said, he wants everything to be his way, otherwise he will get frustrated. At least he admits it though, Jack.
I mean, if that's the way the team revolves around, then it can work. Obviously, some star players need a lot of leg room to actually breathe, and Smuya gets the early opener.
Why.
Yeah, does take down Shiki as he goes for the extension with the Deagle. So a little bit of 50 caliber pain to kick this one off, as they do group up that side of the B site though, but they can attack from both angles here. Robin, he's coming through, close round by Speedway, he's in CT. What's actually going on this B site with this setup here? Both of them by second oranges. They've gone for the stack. Finally, no, we're not going to get to see it. Okay. Shaney kills the man there. Whisk comes through with a frag back on T-Sac. Brilliant.
Well, here it comes then. Surreal, Smuya, each finding frags, but it's Shaney again just to deal the definitely blows here to Epsilon. 1 versus 2 now. No defuse gear for the CT side. It's just down to Smuya. The UMP has the Deagle as well into his inventory. Molotov goes out just to delay them. Playing the close angle, needs to land the headshots fast as he gets the tag, but the UMP spray combined from the splash damage from the HE will accumulate in the death of Smuya and send us to the 20th round. 9-8. And Xenex now should be versus the Eco from Epsilon. As Smuya buys straight away into the Eco. Straight into an AK.
Yeah, he's giving it. He loves it. Well, let's see if it's going to work out. Obviously, you got the additional cash from the bomb plant, so maybe it's starting to give you a bit of momentum, but still, Xenex lead in terms of rounds. 2 MP9s, you've got a FAMAS, 1 M4, and 1 UMP on Lumgy, but they have quite a bit of utility sprinkled in there. 3 flashbangs, you've got double Molotov, 3 smokes, 2 HEs. You've actually got kits as well, so at least if this gets into a bit of an awkward situation, a pickle into the late round, they're not going to be tapped out. They'll still have a fighting chance. Epsilon, they're grouped up towards close mid here. Just clearing each other's angles, trying to complement for each other, as they will push round. Early flash as well, actually slows them down ever so slightly, but they're going to keep their feet on the pedal. Trying to push in and go for this attack with about 1 minute and 15 seconds left on the clock. Snodzy, first contact is found over by Library, as they get a read towards them and have an inkling of what exactly is going on here. Boaster tries to get the frag, but actually fluffs it. Couldn't get the kill with the AK. Shaney will take him down as he punishes him with the silence M4. Shaney falls, Lumgy on the response back on Surreal, and here comes the play. See, the A site is now open. The defense that was there has conceded control, but it should be a viable retake, really, as the bomb's down. A bit of an awkward kill comes through as well when Robin starts to lay down the law with his AK and slays him. He's thrown the clip in. They all hit the DECK, and Robin goes huge of a 4K.
And there you have it. I mean, Robin from a 4 versus 2 brings it back there towards Graveyard to unironically send them to the grave 6 feet under. 9-9 and Xenex lose versus 1 AK invested into by Smuya. But it is the catalyst for the 9th round here for Epsilon as the Quasi buy comes through apart from Whisk, going to be investing into the M4. Drops the M4 over to Lumji, as he has no Kevlar. They've gone for more of that CIS sort of force buy where one player buys the firepower and they just basically play past the parcel around. Round number 19 though, Jackie. Minute 25 left on the clock. The 8 cheek grenades in the early portion of the round, only dealing 14 points of damage to Smooth, but apart from that, fairly frivolous, fairly useless.
Well, Lumji needs to go wild into this round. But actually, Shiki through the smoke. That's worked out well for him as he gets the initial kill. Punishes Smooya.
Yeah, should buy a lottery ticket with that luck.
It's a good start. There is the AK down the ground as well, and it hasn't been recovered just yet. So there is a chance, but actually they're just going to instantly aggress towards that Snods. Push close, switch out the MAC-10 for the AK. So it's not going to be as effective. They do link up with the bomb though. Down to the 50-second mark now.
That M4 is rotating towards the B site now. Lumji going into Speedway is Robin, or the unhappy face as he likes to be called on Steam, it seems. Pushing in towards the B site now, trying to get first contact as he spots out Trials. Push coming in now. Through CT as Whisk as he finds one. Trials as well. Battle of the Force Buys here, Jack at the Premiership Finals as T-Sac. Boaster as well, 2 versus 4.
Yeah, leaves us just in the 2v4 as you said. The bomb is going to be planted. They get it down just in the nick of time, but the CZs can be lethal in close range like this. Basically pocket AKs and Sheik going to show you how to use it. Slumps down T-Sac. Boaster has his lips removed, and that's going to be the defuse from Lumji as he gives him a 10th round.
This game is down to the wire. I'm hearing the bashing of tables, the smashing of desks.
The King Kong beating his chest.
Yeah, there you go. That rhymed as well, man. That's good. Pause coming through as well. I think there's some frustration starting to arise here from Epsilon. My, oh my. They alluded to on the desk the potential, roster issues within the team. Obviously, the rumors going around about potential players leaving the team, going elsewhere, arguably higher up in the scene, but all going to cause tension.
But the thing is, Snods, you've got to remember, Trials himself, he said it, it's all about a veto. We'll play them on any map. They've chosen Inferno, so it is technically any map, so that's why they're doing well. He did predict this.
He did. Yeah, he did say to me as well, I don't want to, reveal the vetoes out publicly, but he said, he knows Epsilon's going to ban Nuke. And they thought, okay, we're going to pick Inferno. They ban Nuke. We're going to ban Overpass. We want to avoid Smooya and Smooya Pass, as he likes to call it. And I feel like with the veto, they've got quite happy with it. Obviously, the second map being Mirage, you could, obviously plug and play that map anyway, as they have been playing a lot of Fortnite recently. And on Cobblestone, Shiki, Homer Shiki, the 4-1 style of CS. You guys go run through middle, and I'll smoke be a platform and flash it.
Well, into this one, it's going to be a burst coming through from Epsilon. They have no utility, though, so no smokes or mirrors. Make their lives a bit easier with some magic tricks from Papa Smooth.
That'd be something. Mirrors. Back in World War II, where they would, with the chewing gum, put a mirror onto a little stick, just so they could avoid snipers and people. Around the corner. See the reflection, see if anyone's there.
You want them to add a mirror to put around corners?
Maybe, mate, maybe. Feel like Rainbow Six, everyone go for the leans around corners.
I can see why you would kick for endpoint.
Exactly. It's siege time.
Well, right now, it's A time, baby, as they're going to try and push in towards the site. But let's see if they can be as effective in this one. Shaney, though, early pick, takes down Surreal. They are taking a bit of a dink. You can see their health bars dropping down. Shiki and Shaney, that combo has been knocked down ever so slightly, but they've not forced to rotate. I mean, Epsilon haven't actually managed too much. There's still a little bit of utility left as well on Xenex. Push comes in towards the B site just as the Molotov goes out, so that's going to burn even more time off this clock, and this isn't looking good for Epsilon at this point. You've got 30 seconds, T-Sac's isolated at Banana. Sure, you've got the control through Speedway, but you've still not got site control. That's what it's about. You need to try and go for this capitalization now on the B site, get the bomb down, do something. You need that additional cash, and Trials is going to be defending it. Looks to try and get a read on where they're going to be coming from as they start to push through. Trials with one, looks for the second, which of course he will claim. Eventually does go down to Deagle or Robin, but Whisk's there for a Whisk special. And that is going to be the 11th round found for Xenex. Looking good here on their CT side of Inferno, Snods. Maybe they might actually come in strong, win the first map of the series and give themselves momentum, and that could be a tilter. This Epsilon roster, and if you look at the names on paper, I feel like there's some of the names in that team will take this quite heavy if they lose that first map.
You going to be dropping any names there?
I feel like Smooya will be quite offended.
I think Robin as well, mate. I think it was Robin smashing his desk. I wasn't sure, but
it probably was.
Probably was. Anyway, 11-9 here. 2-round advantage for Xenex after claiming both the pistol rounds, remember. So in terms of buy rounds, Epsilon still have the slight advantage. Well, push coming in towards Banana. Shaney caught off guard already. Quick reply frag though, as Robin goes 1 for 1, but that's really job done there from Robin. Gets his 1 frag, goes 4 to 4. They have conceded Banana, controls the players towards. They have to be a bit more wary. Charles going for the rotation through CT, but he may be too late.
They're out on the A site. Surreal gets the execution on Lumji. Shiki tries to stay alive and be the leader of the team, not only by brain, but by brawn as well, in terms of setting an example here. But the defense does fall. Surreal through the smoke as well. Nice sick as he just shuts down Trials. It's just Whisk that remains, and Whisk go for the save. It's not worth it.
Just going to be saving the AWP into the next one. In terms of cash, if they do save that AWP, they could go for a buy. I believe one player might be lacking in terms of firearms, but maybe a FAMAS instead or a UMP. From Epsilon. Play in towards Banana. Robin going 1 for 1, catching Shaney off guard there. Didn't expect it to be so close after the Molotovs were put down. Fast playing towards the A bomb side, and Xenex just weren't ready for the rotations from Trials. Just 5 or 3 seconds too late. They couldn't get in front of the smoke towards Mini Pip and aid his teammates towards Quad. As you haven't really seen, we saw the 1 tactical timeout from Epsilon. But apart from that, it's been rather quiet from Xenex. Obviously, they are in the lead as of now. Maybe they don't want to stunt their growth and their momentum. Wow, the quasi-buy coming out actually from Xenex, so a lot of faith being put behind this AWP here, Jack. M4 for Whisk, obviously. As he can buy... Can he even buy into the next round? It's a bit of an overbuy, potentially. They're going to be on a 1900 round loss bonus, so I don't think he can.
Could be a bit of a risk there. Snod's obviously overbuying, leaving himself pretty broken. Could be susceptible to an attack. But the way Xenex set themselves up this time is going to be the Lone Wolf, the big dog, the S-dog. Let's see if he'll land some flicks with this AWP if the push does come towards him right now as he just lies in wait. It's quite a bold move. See if it's going to pay off. As the first Molotov trying to draw him out of his position. Fires a warning shot as he will concede and retreat back to a more defensive angle, but only slightly. Shaney really trying to play with confidence here. The bomb has at least rotated off, now grouped up outside of the A site, where the 4-player setup is. Ready, waiting. Just depends from the angle. Snodzy CZs. The range capability is quite restricted unless they actually do go towards this crossfire here. That's when it could massively go in their favor. About 45 seconds left on the clock now.
4 players stationed towards the A site here from Xenex. Whisk with the off angle, Trials up close as well, the CZ. Whisk with the M4, remember, he could just peek out and annihilate all of them, gets 1. Goes in for the refrag as well, but both are going to be trading that one out. 3 versus 3 as the damage is dealt.
Yeah, this is big. It's a nice round. He's actually laid the foundations, but Shiki finally recovers himself, but only composed for a small period of time there. Gets 1 frag, but no more. It's up to Shaney to save it. A 1 versus 2. Has he got the confidence to go for this? Is it even worth the risk taking? 18 frags already to his name. Can he make it a nice round 20 to close out this one and get a 12th round for Xenex? If the peak comes through, he might just find it, but the missed shot was there. Boaster knew to aggress off the back of that contact as well. Kills Shaney.
The issue is, to look at the money, it's so awkward now. Shaney had saved the AWP. He can use the AWP, drop over an M4 to Whisk, and they have a full buy. Now they have to go for a quasi-buy, and they're going to be conceding the advantage they had. They were 11 to 10 up. They could have bought into this round here, round number 23, but in terms of form, Shaney is delivering 18 kills already. 5 AK is going to be coming out for Epsilon, no AWP just yet. They didn't actually save it from the corpse of Shaney, so that might be a sign that they're going to be going hard and fast into this one. Pushing in towards middle, maybe expecting a buy here, not anticipating pistols.
Lumji. CZ in close range, he plays from Boiler. It was damaging before, but not this time. Not again. Surreal will get the read on him. Shaney actually fires back against Boaster at least to get some revenge for the prior round, but Robin will come through there anyway. Trade it back out. It's just a bit of an awkward confrontation from either side. Smooya, though, with the spray transfer. Finds that headshot on Shiki. That was lovely. And finally, Epsilon are in the driving seat. 12 rounds to their name, 11 to the side of Xenex. It's incredibly close. Oh, Shaney with the glass cannon, Snods.
It's risky. Wow. He has the mid spawn. He beat Smooya last time when he went for the mid duel. Is he going to try and take this game into his own hands and go for that face once again? But seems like Epsilon want none of that, Jack. Going fast towards top mid, top banana even.
Yeah, straight through the top banana as they look for the damage, but Trials denies the push with two, taking down Surreal and T-Sack, who's now just a sack on the ground. Shiki finds the headshot back on Boaster, though, leaving it into a 3 versus 2. The B-side control has been claimed. Smooya, he's a sniper with a hell of a scope, trying to take out a cop or two, but let's see if he can actually find the flicks with the AWP as he tries to invite them in, but Lumji will do it. The Lunatic himself finds another frag, and it's all tied up, 12-12.
Late smoke towards CT there. 3 versus 3. Shiki able to turn it into the 3 versus 2, give his team the advantage they needed. Lumji from Banana wins the duel versus Robin. And there you have it, 12-12, as the game does continue. Round number 25, and what's the cash looking like now for Epsilon? As Boaster was $6,000. Can trip over the AWP to Smee, but Smee had enough cash himself. The last buy here, Jack, if they lose this may be an eco into round number 26 for Epsilon. That could be a 14-12 advantage for Xenex.
Yeah, this could be ridiculous. The fact is as well, Shaney, I mean, the investment that he risks now safe. You've got the AWP with armor.
Ooh.
Whisk with a bit of a fluffed Molotov there, but it doesn't matter too much. It is still all ignited at this point.
Yeah, we are seeing a lot of failed grenades. This is the first game I land here. The jitters are going to be apparent. Standard default setup here from Xenex. Whisk towards CT, Trials in towards the first oranges. And then we have the, famous trio. Lumji, Shaney, Shiki around the A-bomb side. Surprisingly, actually, Jack, it's been the A side that's been the real weakness here. The young guns, Whisk, Trials, their first DPS, they're the ones who are able to really facilitate defense on this B-bomb site, finding frags, at least one. Let's see. Gap in that smoke there. Smear trying to exploit that, but no one going to be considering the first frag and giving it away for free over peeking for nothing. Shiki taking the challenge versus Surreal, losing out early down to 40 HP. Shaney as well. Rather passive, falling back towards the library and the default site itself. As Epsilon are going to be trialing the new guns once again. Shiki, Trials are going to have to really step up to the plate and step up the event itself and try and secure the 13th and break the money for Epsilon. This is the team, this is the moment they need to maybe have the underdog story arise.
Smooya, we're going to try and raise some hell here. As of right now, it's his teammates that have already done the damage. Surreal and Boaster were the first 2 entries. There was a pick back in the favor of Xenex, but they're at a deficit as it is. It's only a 3 versus 4. They don't really fancy going for the attack. They are just going to save. It's going to be a 13-12 scoreline. Look at the cash on Xenex as well, Snods. Obviously, off the back of this, I mean, they're going to be into a bit of an awkward situation.
Yeah, it's true. Trials is going to have, what, $3,100 so we can buy UMP for utility. Shiki can drop over an M4 to Whisk as well, so they can go for a decent buy. Obviously, AWP for Shaney, 3 rifles, and then a UMP potentially for Trials to invest into utility. But towards the B side, if they don't play for information, those sorts of rounds are going to happen. If they don't have a player AWPing towards CT or AWPing towards the default side that's going to hold the aggressive angle, they're going to be walked up upon. If they can see banana control each and every time, then Epsilon know not only can they go for contact plays towards the B side, trade those frags and win it, Epsilon also know that they can go for executions towards B because they are playing scared towards banana, and for Xenex they have to have some resistance shown there versus Epsilon at that banana position, otherwise that's going to be too weak of a point and Epsilon's going to run away with it.
Well, the way they switch it up this time is going to be the 3-player setup towards banana. There's the early Molotovs in. Bit of a later one as well to try and ignite the site. Smooth are going to be restricted. They can smoke it if they want to fall back or just wait for it to extinguish of its own accord. As the push comes down, Trials with a Famas tries to make himself famous with a weapon as he gets one. Smooth blind and dazed and confused, struggling to actually find these picks. So they go for a 1-for-1 trade.
What's that? Why is... They've just suicided Trials.
Yeah, they've left Trials in to go on for his own. They've been fall back from the frag. I mean, at this point, at least it's just a 1-for-1, but this does favor the T's.
But that could have been annihilation towards banana. That should have been Xenex just decimating Epsilon. A bad flashbang as well. Didn't connect as you saw. Well. Maybe the heat of the moment is showing here. 4 versus 4, 55 seconds left on the clock and the bomb in towards middle.
I mean, Smee has nearly just given Shaney a haircut there, but he barely missed the AWP shot. So let's see if he can try and give him a short back and sides towards the site as they do try and push up. Lumji going to be feeling the heat, but he just fights through it. does go down the end to T-Sac, and now things are getting worse by the second. Luckily, Shaney is their only saving grace, trying to keep them in the action, but the site set ablaze. Shaney gets shipped off to the Burns ward. The bomb is going to go down from T-Sac, and it's just Shiki and Whisk left to retake this. Oh, through the smoke as well. That's vintage T-Sac.
Most likely the safer from Shiki. 14-12, and Xenex might have to fight for overtime in this one. And actually, if you remember, all those years ago, when Shiki won Season 1 of EPS, it was on Cash when he was down. Similarly to this scenario, we brought it back to overtime, won it in OT. So he's going to need a repercussion of those sorts of events, or replication of those sorts of events, if he wants to try and bring Inferno back, because Mirage is the pick from Epsilon next, obviously.
I think you mean the ESL Premiership.
What should I call it?
EPS every time.
Yes, the UK and Ireland Premiership.
No, just the ESL Premiership.
ESL Premiership. 14-12 though, Jack. Round 27. Xenex here. They might be playing for the EK for OT. Epsilon, is this a team you want to be conceding the 15th round to? Do you feel like you're going to be able to win 3 in the trot, on the trot? It's unlikely here, but let's see anyway.
Well, there's no real utility on Xenex. I mean, you've got the one flash and the smoke on Shiki, but that's about it. Luckily, they do have a kit. They've been able to pull these rounds where they do have a weak buy into small quad shenanigans, but there's a lack of CZs, and that was actually the driving force behind it. First contact is found against Shaney. It's a bit of an awkward spray. Surreal left on 24 HP for it as well. They can try and push with this. If they push towards quad, though, Lumji's just waiting for him, licking his lips, ready to try and strike, but it's a bit of an awkward miss. Sprays around the head of Robin. Doesn't quite kill him. Trials as well, sniped by the AWP. Shiki might as well go for the save, try and hold on to that, carried it over. At this point, you've got to play for OT. There is no other way about this. You can't beat around the bush. Whisk actually does get a backstab there on at least one frag, but it's constellation frag at the end of the day, Snods. He can't save the weapon, he can't get away with it. Shiki, he might actually lose this AK as well.
Pushing in here. Surreal towards Banana, going to be isolating Shiki and denying the save. 15-12. 3 match points now for Epsilon as we go into round number 28. Maybe the last round we see here of the first map. The ESL Premiership. 5 rifles is all they have as well. Shaney on 20 frags, Trials on 18. The firepower's there. I mean, this game has been close, Jack. But remember, both pistols won for Xenex. Epsilon bringing it back from that sort of scenario. As AWP for Smooya, horning for the mid-peak, but Shaney this time is going to be deducted down to the rifle, so no audacious faces coming out from there. Oh. Whisk, Trials, no Molotovs, there's one smoker left onto Trials in terms of utility. There isn't much to counter an execution. As the boost comes in towards the back boxes, we saw this from Surreal on their CT side of the first bar, and if you remember, where they got the 3K with the silence than 4. Already some frags going in favor of Epsilon. This may be the last round here, Jack.
Well, maybe not. Shiki actually does get a kill on Boaster, brings it back into a 4 versus 4. They pent them in as well, but they don't realize the push comes out at the last second. Robin there finds that frag on Shiki. Lumji has to fire back through. It's left in a 3 versus 3. It all hangs in the balance. The A site is open, they know this, but Lumji just tries to defend towards apartments. The other 2 players are over at the barn at the B site. Lumji gets contact, fires out one warning shot. A bit of a weird smoke there from T-Sac as well. Dashes it off the back of his teammate. Cheeky little love tap, getting ready. Lumji, though, denies the bomb plant. This could be manageable. This could actually be winnable. If Lumji can continue in this fashion to stay alive as his teammates now arrive as well. It's all to play for here, Snods.
Yeah, they spot him going towards apartments, but they don't cover him once the bomb was being planted. 3 versus 2 as the push comes through. Another bomb is down. Smooth the up towards default. Surreal first frag in towards pit. Smooth with one as well towards the site, leaving just Whisk alone into the 1 versus 2.
Well, let's see what he can do. Smooth finds it as he peeks round. Is able to achieve it. Whisk, it was a hard task to leave him in. He almost went toe for toe, but unfortunately does fall short in the end there as the frag will go in favor of Smooya, meaning Epsilon picked this up. A huge resurgence on their T side there. They got their heads together, and it seemed to be just the fact that complementary style on the T side, being able to set the pace. Players like Surreal that can just run in there, play with the aggression. Smooya as well, looking like he woke up in the second half.
She loves the
Things just came
camera,
together
doesn't
for
he?
him. He does. That's what he's about.